자산관리사.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
$6 million.
Have you ever been broke before?
I spent the first half of my life broke, and that's where I learned a lot of really good lessons about what not to do. My parents were divorced. I came from nothing. My mom's car got repossessed. I had a tough upbringing.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What was that turning point like for you, right? For somebody who may be kind of at rock bottom right now, maybe they're stuck in that cycle of poverty, what is an actionable step that somebody can take right now to get their life back on track?
I would say go to church, pray, learn, be curious, figure out how things work, and learn how to articulate that to other people. People will seek you out if you're knowledgeable and trustworthy.
Over your career, what's been the best financial advice that you've ever received that you pass on to the younger generation of kids coming out of school today?
Most people will sacrifice what they want most for what they want now. And now is the most expensive word in the English language.
Wow.
You got to be able to hang into things for the long haul.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
I was 36.
For a young 20-year-old kid watching this right now, aspiring to become successful like yourself, give them the blueprint. Like, how can somebody become a millionaire going into 2024?
Think about businesses that generate recurring revenue that is non-transactional. You can make a lot of money in commercial real estate, but you got to go out and find the next deal. Finding deals is what makes it tough. I played the long game. My clients hire me on retainer and they pay me every year. That business is also super scalable because I can deliver one set of transactions and apply it to 100 different people, and those 100 people are paying me for that. And so scalability is a really important part of business, is thinking about how to mass produce one little thing that you can deliver to lots of people in a non-transactional method is a good way to make a lot of money.
You know they don't teach that in school, right?
They generally don't.
Among yourself and the most highly successful people that you study and know, what is that one trait that they all have in common?
I'm faithful to my wife, my family, my business. I'm getting all choked up. Just stay focused and do the right thing.
You got amazing advice, sir. Thank you so much.
사이버 보안 사업가.
Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you, man. Is this your G-Wagon?
Yeah, it is.
And what do you do for a living, man? How are you able to afford a G-Wagon out in Houston, Texas?
I started a cybersecurity company.
A cybersecurity company. How much money is that business going to generate you this year?
We're doing like 7 figures a month.
7 figures a month. Now, we go all over the country just asking business owners their advice to young entrepreneurs. Could we ask you a few questions outside of the car?
No, of course.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. How old are you now?
I'm 27.
27.
Yes, sir.
How old were you when you became a millionaire?
27.
27.
Yeah.
So that was this year.
That was this year.
What keeps people broke in today's world?
Ignorance. Yeah, and ignorance is not a demon, by the way. So I think for me, the way that you can collapse time is knowledge, right? So everywhere you feel like there's darkness, search for all of the knowledge that is allocated to getting you the results that you seek, and you should be fine.
Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah, I was broke a couple years ago, man.
A couple years ago?
Yeah, like probably like 72 months ago.
Yeah. When you were there, man, like what was the turning point like when you're like, I need to change?
To be honest, I think the best decision that I ever made was I stopped making decisions. Everywhere that I wanted to go, someone had already gone, and so I just needed to find people who had already gotten there, follow whatever it is that they did, and honestly, that's what I did. Good things don't take time. You can take 10 years and collapse it into one, getting around the right person, getting around the right knowledge. So
Yeah, bro, you crushed this shit,
yeah,
man.
of course.
에너지 사업가.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
$8 million.
8 million. And what happened that year that you were able to make $8 million? That's incredible. Seriously.
We sold our company.
How much did you sell your company for?
There were some contingencies. It was over $740 million, up to $790 million.
How old are you now?
I'm 65.
65. If you were to go back in time and have a
I'd do it all over again, differently.
differently,
I'd start in banking.
why would you start in finance?
Because what I did was I started in technical geophysics and geology, which is great, but you're only going to be working for somebody if you do that. But if you understand where the money's coming from or who's got the money and how that all works, then you can do a lot more things. And then you benefit personally more from it.
But you ultimately exited a company for 9 figures. A lot of entrepreneurs, they'll have a great idea, they'll start the business, they struggle to scale. What took you from 8 to 9 figures? What's the secret to that
Super
growth?
aggressive, took a lot of risk, worked our asses off,
Yeah.
and got in at the right time in the early stages when Mexico opened up. And we were there, and we took that risk and drilled that first well, and it was a big one.
Any last words of advice to someone trying to become a millionaire going into 2024?
Work your ass off.
Yeah.
Study, talk to people. It's all about people and work with good people. I've been working with this guy for 15 years because I trust him. There's the ripple effects. If you throw a stone in the water, you may only think that it's hair, but it has an effect on other things. And so our job is just to do one thing. We don't have to solve everything, but that one thing that you can do in your life can impact a country, impact an economy, which I've done several times in my career.
Incredible, man. That's
Thanks.
amazing. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for your time.
태양광 사업가.
What's the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
2.3 million.
$2.3
on
million.
one company, yeah.
How did you scale from 6 to 7 figures?
Somebody once told me if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go father, go with people together, you know? So you gotta have the right people. Like, you know, like my company, we have a VP, right? We got sales, marketing, you got all this stuff. And I have a structure where all these guys are gonna be able to call me if they need something, but I can call them to see what's happening. So I think what helped me was being good with people. You really need to know how to put those people together and take care of your people, because if you take care of your people, they will take care of your business.
Have you ever been broke before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I come from this country called Honduras, you know, and I went to school without shoes. I came to this country when I was 14, didn't speak the language, and I went in sales, and I think sales really made the big difference in my life, where it put me to a situation. I met so many great people, and you want to make money, especially in the United States. I wouldn't say entrepreneurship. You just got to go to commission sales. No questions asked. You can be selling solar. There are so many products out there, but yes, I was struggling. I actually didn't know anything about this because in my country we couldn't have it, right? But I knew I was gonna be successful no matter what. But I'm glad I came to the United States and I was able to do well financially, work my butt off, like I say, invest in myself, and here we are now.
How old are you now?
I'm 34 now, man.
34. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
27.
And any last words of advice to the younger generation aspiring to own a Lamborghini one day, man? This is a lot of people's dream car right here.
I will say I'm not a social media guy, right? I want to make money where I can disappear. That's my goal. Okay? Do not let social media fool you, because it's one thing reality with the reality of social media. So do not get caught up on the online gurus per se. All these people that they want to teach you how to make money. Nowadays, if you want to learn something, I think you can go to YouTube, you can go to Google. I'm not making this up. Even if I have a question about something, I go to ChatGPT. Like, I'll ask. So now we have so much free data that you don't really need a guru, but you might need a mentor, right? So do not let yourself fall into that atmosphere, because it will catch you up and you will get into a rat race on trying to beat that when you could probably get it faster if you had to the route of being genuine with yourself, work your butt off, and just keep going.
목재 사업가.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
In 2022, my company did $194 million.
194 million. What's the number one thing that took you from 8 to 9 figures?
Identifying people
Right.
is probably more. I'm not in the lumber business. I'm in the people business.
I love that.
So I'm hiring people. I don't believe in hiring somebody to do my job, and I view my job as running the company. But when you start getting at a certain level, you do have to start considering letting go of certain things. You know, the business owner can't be worried about the price of the toilet paper.
For a young 20-year-old kid watching this right now, aspiring to become successful like yourself, give them the blueprint to becoming a 9-figure entrepreneur.
Ideas are cheap. Execution is everything.
Break that down. What's the importance of taking action?
It's not just taking the action, it's how you execute. It's the follow through, it's the precision, it's the focus. Everybody has great ideas. There's not a lot of original thought, but there's people that execute things well. So I would say that's, in a business perspective, that's good advice.
Amazing advice, sir. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
your
man.
time. I appreciate you, man.
반드시 기억하세요. 1. 현재 원하는 것보다 가장 원하는 것을 쫓아라. 2. 사람들에게 줄 수 있는 한 가지를 대량 생산해라. 3. 내가 원하는 걸 이룬 사람을 따라가라. 4. 내가 해결할 수 있는 하나의 문제를 찾아라. 5. 소셜미디어의 환상에 속지 마라.